Good evening and welcome to PNN Presents The Time of Andrade. I'm your host, Jade Perez. On tonight's program, our team will be rehashing the events and scandals that took place in Pacechester and ultimately led to the resignation of Mayor Cinthia Andrade. On September 27th, news broke out that Mayor Andrade's special aide, Craig Scott, was arrested for reckless driving the night before. Later on, she held a press conference and made it very clear that she does not support reckless driving of any kind. It was also unknown whether or not Scott was under the influence at the time of his arrest. However, once the police report was released, some concerns were raised. Based on the report, Scott had a blood alcohol content level of .200. That is .12 over the legal limit of .08 in the state of New York. Although it was clear that Scott was intoxicated, he was not charged with a DUI. On the other hand, he was eventually relieved from his position at the mayor's office. In addition, an unopened beer bottle and receipt from Ann Pacechester was found in regards to the night of Scott's arrest. The receipt was signed by Jenna Clark, who was related to Pacechester's previous mayor, Samantha Clark. According to the police report, Clark was born on July 19, 1999, which makes her only 18 years of age. Therefore, Ann Pacechester allowed someone underage to purchase alcohol. In response, Morgan Hennessy, Ann Pacechster's marketing director, gave a very vague answer that didn't address the issue. She stated that all of the bartenders at the local business are trained to identify if an ID is fake. Following the release of the report, the Pacechester Coalition held a press conference. At this meeting, spokesman Sean Brown discussed implementing in-car breathalyzers in the near future to limit drunk driving incidents in Pacechester. While the device may seem beneficial, it left many Pacechester residents unhappy. PNN news correspondent Haley Cabrera asked resident Paige Castillo her opinion about the Pacechester Coalition's future plans. Here's a look at Castillo's response.
I personally don't believe that should happen. I think that why would you put a breathalyzer in someone's car and have it not able to start if they've never had a history of it? I just think that it's unnecessary to have all these installments in these people's cars. I do think that interlock ignition is useful and works, but only if there is a problem that has already been established.
When asked whether the government has enough money for the new program, Brown said that the coalition has spoken to the mayor, who said that there would be enough funds.
Welcome back. I'm Nico Nguongo. The Chamber of Commerce's Mama Bear Coffee Shop was under investigation for the food contamination. The next week, it was shut down due to violating the zoning and permit regulations. However, shortly after, they retracted their statement, saying that they were working with the mayor's office. Weeks later, Mama Bear Coffee Shop was shut down once again. Since all of the breaking news in regard to Mama Bear's was very unclear and there wasn't any follow-ups, PNN's very own Jade Perez sat down with members of the chamber for an exclusive interview. Take a look.
So, news broke out a few weeks ago that Mama Bear Coffee Shop was getting shut down, but then a few hours later it was retracted. What was the follow-up? We haven't heard anything since.
So after working with the mayor's office, we amended the zoning laws and permits because the previous ones were not up to our standards. Therefore, because Mama Bear did not live up to these standards, we had to make appropriate decisions to shut that business down.
And why was the statement you released later retracted?
There was a big miscommunication on our part, and we take full responsibility for that. We didn't clearly articulate what we wanted to do and our proposal to shut that down, but after the investigation, the mayor was in agreement with us, and ultimately we had to shut Mama Bear down.
One of the other accusations was that Mama Bear had tainted food. What was the outcome of that allegation?
Our investigation led us to believe that Mama Bear was using genetically modified foods, and that's outside of our expectations. So therefore, the food wasn't actually tainted. They just weren't using our approved farms and vendors. So at the end of the day, our mission is to promote non-GMO, non-genetically modified foods. Therefore, we had to shut them down because they weren't living up to our expectations.
And who was in charge of the investigation?
The mayor was in charge when we told our concerns.
And what was the mayor's involvement in the shutdown?
After we explained our concerns, she led the full-on investigation, and after the investigation, she supported our decision, and we shut Mama Bear down.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for allowing me to speak to both of you. Once again, this is Jade Perez, and I'm from Pacechester News Network.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Even though the Chamber of Commerce say that Mayor Andrade was involved in the shutdown of the coffee shop, she remained silent on the entire issue.
Thanks for sticking with us. I'm Jakub Lewandowski. Title 20-1, the ban on sales of alcohol, passed only by a few votes. The ban officially went into effect at midnight, October 23rd. Prior to the passing of the ban, many Pacechester organizations, such as Ann Pizzetta, stated that they are against it. Now that the ban is in effect, I had the chance to interview the spokesperson of Ann Pizzetta, Nick DeAntoni, on how the business will adapt to the change. Here's the clip.
And today, Title 20-1 officially is in effect. I know that you guys sell alcohol at Ann Pizzetta, and this will ban the sale of all alcohol. So how is this going to affect your operation?
Well, alcohol is not the only thing we sell. We're mainly a pizza restaurant at Ann Pizzetta. When Title 20-1 was proposed, our kitchen staff and management began reworking our menu, and we're very happy with the way our menu has turned out. And we do not plan on leaving Pacechester just because the ban was passed.
Following the ban, it was revealed that Deputy Sheriff Chris Knockett brewed beer in his own bathtub and worked with a committee of Pacechester Liberty member Juliana Schuyler to then distribute it to Pacechester residents. However, the beer was tainted and some consumers became sick. Despite this, Knockett said that he still plans to continue brewing beer because the ban is, quote, messing with people's personal liberties. He went on to say that if people see fit to enjoy beer, Knockett doesn't see a reason why they shouldn't. Due to his actions, Knockett was put under investigation by the Pacechester Coalition and was suspended from the board.
With all these issues going on in Pacechester Village, Mayor Andrade shifted her focus to potholes. She eventually made a PSA. Take a look at it.
Hi citizens of Pacechester, I'm Mayor Andrade and I'd like to give you a special message. About 70% of our community members drive every day, and our goal is to keep our members safe. So that is why we plan to fix the infrastructure around our community and make sure that no pothole is left uncovered.
Once the PSA was released, I hit the streets of Pacechester Village to get the residents' response and reactions to the PSA. Take a look at their reactions. What do you think about Mayor Andrade?
She's all right.
I think that she's been doing a really bad job because she hasn't been taking a stance about anything.
I think she's the worst mayor in the history.
Can you give any reasoning to that, or?
We still don't know if Jenna Clark is going to be punished.
Honestly, I don't think she's a good mayor.
She's really not doing anything for the city. I don't like her too much.
After the pothole PSA, Mayor Andrade shifted her focus to gun control. I once again hit the streets to get the reactions of the residents of Pacechester. Take a look at them.
Well, where I grew up, my father was always a hunter, and it was like big in our family. But I mean, I think it's a good thing to have, like a general guideline and to keep society safe.
I would say I think I have a pretty neutral opinion on it. I know some people are for or against it, but I kind of stay towards the middle.
My opinion is that we should be doing a lot more, but I'm doubtful of anything being done because I think once kindergarten children were killed and nothing was done on a national level, nothing can really happen to change things now.
And as a mom yourself, do you feel like it's kind of scary living in some places thinking anyone could get a gun at this point?
It is, and it's just very disheartening to think that our society is okay with this type of violence occurring on a very regular basis.
Thank you for spending your evening with us. On next week's episode of PNN Presents, I will be addressing concerns in regards to Cinthia Andrade's future run for Senate in 2018. Will voters be satisfied with what she has accomplished as mayor and trust her to be their senator? Until next time, I'm Jade Perez. Have a good night, Pacechester.